28-year-old Takeoff from the Migos rap trio was confirmed to be the victim of a fatal shooting that occurred on Tuesday morning in Houston, Texas. He was just 28 years of age. The Houston Police Department Chief, Tory Finner, was confident when he said, "We will find who is responsible," as he called on the community to give any information to officials because more than 40 people could have been witnesses to the shooting, which occurred just after 2 a.m. He went on to say that anyone who has information on the shooter or shooters, let us bring justice to this family. When one of the reporters asked if the rapper had been tied to any criminal activities, Finner said, "We have no reason to believe he was involved in any criminal activities at this time." Takeoff was the youngest member of the Migos, which included Cardi B's husband Offset and musician Quavo. Takeoff was Quavo's nephew and Offset's cousin. The three family members were reportedly raised together by Quavo's mother in Atlanta, Georgia. These Grammy Award-nominated group members were known for songs like Bad and Bougie, Walk It, Talk It, and Motorsport. Finner began his conference with a human element as he expressed how very tough it was to speak with Takeoff's mother. He said, "I spoke to this young man's mother just an hour ago. I flew here from out of town," he said. "I want everyone to understand the pain and suffering of a mother after losing the life of her child." The chief said officers responded to a call of a shooting in progress at 2:34 a.m. and upon arrival came upon a deceased male. He added, "I got many calls from Houston and outside of Houston, and everyone spoke of what a great young man Takeoff was." Sergeant Michael Arrington described the incident which occurred and said that it was a private party which ended at 810 Billards and Bowling in the downtown area. He said that after the party ended, an argument among a large group of people ensued, and then shooting took place. Dozens of witnesses did not stick around to give any statements to law enforcement. He said, "We're looking for anything to help us. We want to find justice for this family." Arrington added that two additional victims, a 23-year-old male and a 24-year-old female, were being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The police chief admitted these types of shootings can happen, not in Houston, as he answered questions about the ongoing investigation, which may have dozens of witnesses. And first of all, I have to definitely give my condolences to Takeoff's family, especially his mother. Nobody can explain the feeling of what it's like to lose a child as a mother. Nobody can explain how it feels to lose a child, period, unless you lost one. And with all that being said, media took a hold of this thing and they ran rampant with it. And when I say they ran rampant with it, they ran rampant with it. Showing videos of the young man laying on the ground as he passed away, which still makes me believe what I've been saying for 2 years, that this is a death culture, because we're quick to pull out our phone before we help a person that's in dire need. And that's why, in the midst of all that, and finally made me feel good to see somebody else other than myself speak on it. And it came from none other than Gilly the Kid, also known as Gilly the King. And he took to social media, and this was his response.
Why every time something happened to a rapper or an athlete or an entertainer or anybody of color, the first thing you niggas do is pull your fucking phones out and start recording and post that shit on the internet, man? You niggas is clowns for that shit, man. Y'all niggas is clowns for that shit, man. The last image a motherfucker want to see is they peoples laying on the ground bleeding the fuck out, man. Niggas be having mamas, kids, grandmamas, uncles, aunties. That's some dumb shit, man. But the first thing y'all niggas do is pull your phone out. Ooh, look at such and such. Man, that shit ain't cool, man. For real, man. You niggas, that nigga just lost his life, and you niggas is trying to get likes. Tell me how that shit add up, man. You niggas, and all you blog sites, y'all niggas is out of pocket, man. Y'all niggas be trying to get clickbait. You niggas is suckers, man. That man laying on the ground, he bleeding out, and niggas recording it and posting that shit on the internet, man. Y'all niggas is clowns for that shit. I'm telling you, man. This the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man. Shout out to fucking Takeoff, man. Rest in peace, man. Shout out to his family, man. We send our condolences to y'all for $1 million worth of game, man. Shout out to QC. Shout out to P. Shout out to Coach, the Migos, everybody, man. Hold y'all head, man. But y'all niggas gotta stop that shit, man. That shit is not cool, man. Rest in peace, man. Takeoff, man. Love you, Neff.
And not just Gilly the Kid. You even have rap artist, Designer. And my blessings and love go to that brother too, to that young man, because he was torn. He was torn for his friend, which he also said was just like his brother. And he did a video and said, I'm done with rap. Little Bootsy also did a video and said he was done with rap. And I understand it, even if they follow through or not, but I understand it in a pivotal moment. This would make you want to be done with rap or hip hop, whichever one you choose to call it or use as a handle. Because when we look at it, a lot of our young people in this entertainment world are not even living to get to the fruitful years. And that's why I do understand when people talk about certain media groups and how they talk about these young people when they do lose their lives in our culture, the hip hop culture. But I do understand that the older generation should speak on it, but only if they speaking on it in a positive light. Not if you're speaking on it to get clickbaits and to get views. Just like Gilly said, you putting it out there to get views. You're going to put the man laying on the ground, losing his life just to get a view. And if you ask me, they shouldn't allow you to get a view for putting something like that on social media. So if you're an old head, as they call it, and you're putting stuff like that on the internet to get a view, you're trifling, because you shouldn't put it on there to get a view. And you should get on there and speak about it to fix the problem, not to be a part of the problem just to get some shock value, because we know that's coming next. And we all know who those shock value YouTubers are. They're going to do it for shock value. Everything is about shock value. That makes me think, to black people, everything is a fucking game. But it ain't no game out here. People is losing their life every day. Young people. And that's not to say that young people haven't been losing their life. They was losing it when I was coming up too. But this is massive. And it's young people that made it out the ghetto or out the hood. But we have to speak on things like this. When we speak on it, we got to speak on it right. You can't speak on it with BS just because you're trying to get a view. You got to speak on it as an adult or as somebody trying to speak to the little ones. If you're an older person, old head, OG, whatever, call yourself, want to be OG, you need to speak on it like a OG. And that means you need to speak on it with knowledge. Speak on it with solutions. And we definitely have to have solutions to it. And I say that to say this to my young people. Y'all can do better too. Everything ain't got to be, let me pull out my gun first. No, you can knuckle up, get your little knuckles dirty, get your little shoes scuffed up, and you live to fight another day. It ain't got to be the gun first. Oh, I'm out here in these streets. That don't mean nothing. You're going to be laying in them, or you're going to be laying in somebody's penitentiary anyway at the end of the day. But yeah, family, this is out of hand. Matter of fact, and like I heard Boosie say, everybody want to kill rappers because they want to take a rapper's place. But I'm going to say this. They don't want to take a rapper's place. They just want to kill him for no apparent reason, probably other than jealousy, hate, or no ambition, which that shouldn't make you want to kill the next man. But it's like nowadays, rapper, famous, whatever, you're even more so of a target because, like I said a couple of years ago, they do this so they can get their social media fame too. So that means they don't care if they get caught or not. That's why they'll shoot a person in broad daylight, because they're going to get their fame, in their opinion, whether alive, dead, or locked up. We see it every day with people telling penitentiary stories, people acting like how hard they was. That's what we got to fault the old heads. You think you're not doing nothing. Oh, no. I don't want to see the young people killing each other. But when we look at what you post on social media, what are you posting? Glorification of black annihilation is what you're posting on social media. You on social media talking about your past and how much shooting you used to do and how much you used to knock people out and this, that, and the third. So that's the example they got to follow, because they don't want to follow the man that says, I came from the bottom on my knees, but I refused to stay there, and now I own this business, or now I'm a lawyer, or now I'm a doctor. No, he's a lame, in you guys' opinion. In our culture, he's lame. But we'll follow these other knuckleheads, and even when they talking on social media, they get all the views. You give all your money to them, but these are the same ones. They're the ones sending your kids to hell in a handbasket. And you sitting up here watching them, giving them views, laughing because they talking like they tough. But the young people hear that tough talk and they take it to heart. And they go to the street and say, hey, yeah, my OG told me he was Billy Badass, so I'm going to be 10 times better than him. He told me he was in a shootout in the middle of the night. Well, I'm going to be in a shootout in broad daylight. But these are the people that we subscribe to, family, black people. You subscribe to that bullshit, right? But then when it happens to your baby or to somebody you love, now you're like, oh, that's terrible. No, but this is what you subscribe to. It shouldn't be. Now one of you grown people, especially, young people either, listening to people that talk that foolishness on social media about how tough they is, about what they was doing when they was younger, and about the shooting and the killing. People love those kind of shows. It's almost like when you're watching Netflix, you don't watch a love story. Your dumb ass want to go watch a mob story. You want to go watch a crime boss story. So you're half to blame of what you ingest. What you take in is the same thing you're going to shit out. You see what I'm saying? So what you allow your children to take in is what they shitting out. But then, on the flip side of that, when they end up in the pine box, like the next person, now you're mad. Now you're sad. Now you're saying it ain't right. But you never ask yourself, what part do you play in it? We all play a part in it. We ain't got to be up on here acting rah-rah. Because when the shit hits home, now you want justice. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I can definitely understand what Gilly the Kid was saying. I can understand what Designer was saying. I can understand what T Grizzly said, even though they say he recanted his statement, but that's okay. But at least he admitted it, so somewhere down the line he'll be able to fix it. You see what I'm saying? Because have you ever noticed, and it's weird as fuck, in the black community, even the non-gang member acts like they the shit too. Even the ones that say, oh, I don't bang, but they act like, yeah, but I'm a tough guy though. Well, you might as well bang then. Nobody want to be humble. And we knowing that over 80% of the people ain't really about that and ain't really been out there in that like that. See? But we're still sending misinformation to the young people. And I'm going to blame social media for their part too, because they allow it to be put up. We allow people like TMZ to put that shit up with the man laying on the floor just because he's a big corporation. So he can put it with the man laying on the floor, right? So what do you think the little YouTuber's going to do? He going to be like, well, hell, TMZ put it up. Well, and they getting plenty views. I might as well put it up and get some views too. See, you got to stop that shit at the root as well. So this is not just to knock black folks. We got to knock that shit at the fucking root. You got to knock them motherfuckers too. They just sued Alex Jones for showing the Sandy Hook's victims and talking about how they got killed. But TMZ can put Takeoff and Nipsey Hussle and all them other rappers put their shooting on TMZ and they don't get sued. Black people with some bullshit going on out here and y'all ain't even trying to feel me. Now you answer me that. You answer me that. How can you sue Alex Jones but not sue TMZ and people like that? This big corporations, bigger than Alex Jones. And all he did was talked about the Sandy Hook shooting, but they're putting up people actually laying on the ground and passing away. See, that's that shit. And that's why I understand what Gilly the Kid is saying. That's why he's telling you like he's telling you. Even though he's saying you bloggers. Gilly, the only ones you missed was them TMZs and some of them, some of those major news spots too. They'll show it too. It makes me wonder. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I know bullshit when I see it. And that's how we have to look at it, people. And we definitely have to wonder what part we play. Because we play a part, people. We definitely fucking play a part. Because I haven't seen a square black person since the 80s. I haven't seen a black person since the early 80s that was just a square, normal dude. Everybody's the shit. Even the square, normal dude, he's the shit now. That can't be true. Everybody ain't the shit. That's why so many young people get killed. Because everybody's a gunner, but everybody's not a gunner. But they can get access to a gun. You notice how they look when they're in court? They looking remorseful. Real killers don't look remorseful when they take people's lives. So that's my thing with it. I just want us to think about that. What part do we play? And I'm going to say it again. We play a part. And the part we play is we glorify bullshit. We listen to reckless people on social media. The reckless people on social media got more views, more subscribers than anybody that's talking with sense. So that's the part we play. We're giving them more power to influence the babies. But then we get mad when the baby winds up 6 feet deep. So we got to ask ourselves that. Ask yourself some shit like that. Ask yourself what the hell and what position do you play? What lane are you in? You in the lane driving the recklessness because you're giving him fuel. You're giving him money for fuel. You're giving him subscription for fuel. You're giving them views for fuel. And they're getting paid off of it to stay reckless. And you know the ones who they are. You know who they are in the black community. You know which ones are them. And guess what? Now they got all the other knuckleheads on social media wanting to do the same shit. You turn on social media, everybody's beefing and arguing and going back and forth. Like that's all black people know. Y'all don't got no knowledge of nothing, not even knowledge of self. That's what we got to ask ourselves. And then you wonder why the young people are going to hell in a handbasket. And with that, I'm going to say this is the news in you. North, east, west, south. Unite from every alley in Cali, intersection and back street. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door.